Hi, Phil here from Sturbridge Yankee Workshop, and today I'm extremely pleased to talk about our basket bench. We're going to talk a little bit about this neat item and assembly as well. A few notes about it. First, some of the real unique things about this particular bench is its storage saving space. At just 36 inches wide and 20 inches high and 14 inches in depth, you have a lot of flexibility with where you can place this item in your home or office. It has actually a clean black finish with rounded edges, and it's got some woven rattan baskets that actually easily slide in and out for convenience and storage. And we're going to break down the process of how to put this together when you receive this. Next, we're going to talk about the assembly process. And before we do that, when you receive your bench, it's going to come in a relatively flat box. And please, as I've mentioned in previous videos, don't be concerned by that. Okay? If I can put this together, anybody can put this together. Okay? The most important thing is just take your time, read through the instructions right there, and organize yourself. Take your time, okay? So I have us pretty well organized right here. So I'm going to review the parts involved to put the basket bench together, okay? And I have everything pretty much laid out alphabetically, starting with the letters A and B. Right here are the sides of the bench. And there actually is a difference between A and B. When you look at the parts list right there, it looks like they're identical, but they're not. They're actually separate pieces for each side. Okay. Then you have letter C, which is basically the bottom panel right here. You have letter D, which is right here, the front brace. You have letter E right here, which is actually going to be the seat back. Okay. You have letter F right here, the divider. You have letter G, which I have right here. Seat panel, which I have upside down, of course, right there. The seat panel, this is G. And then there's letter H right here, which is the back panel. Okay. Letters I and J make up the baskets right there. I, you'll see, actually will come to you flat, but it will actually turn to a basket like that, and pop the bottoms in, which we'll go over in a little bit to make the baskets. Okay. Next, we're going to go over the parts such as the screws and such, and they're just, of course, a reminder to you. You will need a Phillips screwdriver, which is not provided. The Allen wrench, which should be provided for you. Interesting enough, if you should misplace it, it is actually the same size as the picture illustrates for the Allen wrench that we'll use. Okay, so now let's take a couple minutes just to go over the parts, which include like the screws and such. Number one we have on our instructions is actually the bolts, which I have right there. There are 10 of those right here. Okay. Part number 2 are our wooden dowels, and there's 12 of those I have right over here. Part number 3 is a wood screws. There's 3 of those that are relatively longer. Part 4 is our wood plugs, which there are 10 of those right here. And then 5 is 4, there's kind of smaller screws right there. And then part 6 is the Allen wrench that I described to you. And then, of course, we have the Phillips screwdriver. Okay? Okay, and to start, I have the bottom panel, letter C, and part F right here. We will place 2 dowels in here as such, right here. You'll notice I have my screwdriver handy and a screw, wooden screw. We will place these dowels in just like this. Place that as such. Then what we'll do is we'll flip this over like this, and to firmly attach that, we'll screw this in right here. This one's tight. Okay, next step we have letter H right here and letter E. We're going to slide this panel right here in the back, such into the grooves right here, and then letter E right here, which is actually the back of the seat right here. This will slide right in here. This part's just a little bit tricky because you want to kind of hold it like this, hold it together like that too, as such. When you're doing it, it might be easiest just to kind of hold it like that, keep it together, and just kind of put it down, just like this, so it will stay attached, just like this. Okay, and next step, we're going to be attaching the legs, but first note, we'll make sure we have the wooden dowels in. Note there are 2 holes. The dowels will always go in the hole where there's not the metal in the hole right there, which is, of course, for the screws to attach to. So we'll put the dowels in there, and right over here, like this, okay? And we will start with part A, which is leg A, right over here. And we will align this to here as such. Okay, now that we have part A attached to the rest of the bench, we will begin the process of putting the bolts in. Okay, and one note before I attach part B, this leg portion of the bench, we'll note we have the dowels in place already. And just take a moment, make sure that the back panel letter H is aligned into all the slots properly and firm. Okay, so we will take this leg right here and we will line this up with the dowels, which basically is the bottom dowel right here, and here, and we'll line this up right in here, and this will pop right in here, just like that. Perfect. And once we have everything lined up perfectly, everything's in place, we'll use the bolts, and we'll screw in the bolts. Okay, and next to attach the front brace, letter D, one thing we found, the easiest way to do this is we just loosen this bolt up just a little bit, as such here, a couple of turns right there. So this is loose here, okay? And we've already placed the wooden dowels in their proper holes. Again, one note is the holes that actually don't have the metal casing around it, which the metal casing is where the bolt is going to go right there. This will attach as such right here. We'll forget just to tighten this up a little bit. We didn't loosen it that much with just a few easy turns just like this to retighten that. Okay, like that. Okay. And we put the bolts in each side. Maybe this side right here. And this side right here. this like that. And now you just place these two dowels right here. Okay, and now that the bench is almost fully assembled, the next step, which is going to be attaching the letter G, which is the seat to the bench right there. So this will drop in just as such. Keep in mind the dowel will be on the bottom. There's a letter right there. And this will drop in just like such. Okay. And then there are actually 4 small screws which will go into each side, such as this right here. So we'll get those in here now. 2 on this side right here. And then lastly, there are 2 of the longer screws which will go in. There is 2 longer holes right in the bottom. Once you have those in, you have your seat firmly attached. Okay, and now the bench, since it's totally fully assembled, my favorite part, and probably the easiest part for me certainly, is actually putting the basket together, which of course is letter J and I, and all you need to do is just put this just like this here, and then I like that, and then you just pretty much drop J in just like this. It'll drop right in there, like that. And then you have your basket just like that. And there you have it. This is our basket bench available to you from Sturbridge Yankee Workshop at www.sturbridgeyankee.com.